Check one, two, check one, two, check one, two. What is up, guys? Your Riddles, your boy Kagi, back at it again with another video. And in this video, I bring you the CEO of a brand new game. So, ladies and gentlemen, I had a talk with him the other day, 2-hour talk. And I was inspired. I was inspired by him. And ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Tim. Tim, thank you so much for doing this. Let's have that same talk today in a shorter time frame. And let's get all the juice out for everybody here. And go ahead, man. Tell me a little bit about you.
Me.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm 37 years old. I'm originally from South Africa. I'm married, 2 kids, and I've spent a lot of my career in the world of actually direct sales. So I right now, I have run teams of over 500 people and built an organization that's brings in almost 200 million a year in revenue for a tech company, and it's been amazing. And then personally, of course, what's led me to form Koin Games and this company has just been I've been a gamer forever, since I can remember, growing up in South Africa, playing all the early systems, even the early RoboCop and Contra and those types of games. I'm a little older maybe than some of your viewers, but I think the first game that really got me, that made me think I would love, if I ever have the opportunity to build something like this, was actually World of Warcraft. That was my game for many years, and then it obviously progressed into all the different consoles, and and then 2017 I found crypto. My friend said, bro, there's this thing called Bitcoin. I bought some at $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever it was at the time, 4,000. And he's like, and now it's up to 10. And I was like, well, can you help me buy one? So bought a couple, and then it just went from there. Made some great money. I did not sell at the top, and so rode it on down into the nice bear. Found out what a bear market was, which I didn't know. And but I've always been just intrigued by blockchain and crypto, and really just felt, and I know you echo these things, having watched a lot of your videos, that it's really a revolutionary technology, blockchain, and in so many ways can improve the world and improve a lot of industries. And and so just always loved it. Enjoyed investing and all that kind of stuff. And then just recently, with really, I think it started with seeing the news about Beeple selling an NFT for $69 million. I thought, man, that's crazy. Why would someone pay that much money for a picture attached to something? And so I started studying it, looking into it. And then, the viewers here in America know this, but Pokemon obviously exploded about a year ago too. So I was in the middle of studying all those things, and it kind of just was this light bulb moment of NFTs, card collectible, TCG style games being molded with the NFT platform, and how perfect that would be and how it would elevate it. And then really this light bulb of just gaming. And I didn't really at the time even know there were blockchain games. I thought I was, I told you the other day, I thought I was discovering something new. I'm going to make the first, TCG style game. Yeah. But it was just a light bulb moment of if I really believe there's a lot of things in crypto, as I say, even in my intro video on our channel, that, there's a lot of things in crypto where they take an idea and they just slap crypto on it. And then they say, hey, it's a blockchain idea. Give us a bunch of money. Here's our token. And crypto doesn't really, or blockchain doesn't really do anything for it. It would be fine without it. It's almost a sideshow. But specifically, collectibles, NFT, card games, it just makes sense because it elevates it. But even more than that, blockchains. I love your I saw on your Twitter the other day, no NFT, what is it? No NFT, no play.
That's basically the motto. No NFT, no play.
Exactly. And it's to me, if a gaming company refuses to put their game on blockchain, at least once they know about it and there's enough, it's easy enough to do that, I almost think that they're robbing their players. And so I feel the same way as you. Why would you not allow your players to own everything they unlock in the game? It doesn't hurt the studio. If anything, it benefits them. And it makes it so that players, when they spend their hard-earned money and their time and their energy and their love on a video game, that there's a sense of ownership and a real ownership of assets within the game, whatever form that takes. and you can move that from game to game. You can sell that, trade it, transact at it, or like I say, you can just stare at it knowing that, hey, this guy right here is worth 2 grand. I'm never selling him, but he's still worth $2,000, and you
Mm-hmm.
love it so much more. So yeah, it was a light bulb moment. I remember where I was. I was in my brother's house when I kind of this came to me, and so I started like brainstorming the idea with a couple buddies that were really into gaming. And I then reached out to some partners of mine that I'd worked with on another crypto project that I was an investor on. And they specialize in basically, building and incubating projects like this. And so between us and the guys now we've hired, we're about 14 people in the company, part and full time. We've formed Koin Games and are off to the races on building an amazing blockchain game. So yeah, that's a little history of how I got to here.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now tell me about the structure right now. You got Coin Games, and then under Coin Games, of course, we got the game that you're talking about. Tell me a little bit about that game that you guys are building, because you did tell me it was kind of like a card game, right, at the beginning, but then
Yeah,
it transforms, right? It connects to a chess style type of game, like
auto chess. Yeah,
auto chess,
auto battler. Yeah,
auto
yeah.
battler,
So
yeah.
yeah, so Koin Games is the name of our company, and that'll be the parent company. That our ethos, it's literally in the name. Koin Games means, it's from the Greek word koinonia, and it means community built. It literally means to build something as a community. So we started that, and our whole motto is that we're going to build amazing games with our players, owned by our players. So the players literally are coming along with us, and we'll talk about the end. So stay tuned, guys, on how you can get involved in our avatar project and really building this game with us from day one. And so, and obviously, we built the frame, almost like building a house. We built the frame of the game, but we're going to allow the players to come in and help us pick out the walls, the paint, the floors, all the things. Where most gaming studios, they build the whole house and then they say, "Here's your house. Hopefully you like it." And you like some things, you don't like some things, and you don't feel a connection to it as much as you would if you helped pick out the kitchen. You know what I mean? And so anyway, we believe we'll make better games with our players, and that the players will love it even more, and our following will be far stronger, core community, and build something great. So yeah, so our game is called Bloodline, and it's the aesthetic will be kind of like a Nordic clan, a fantasy world. There's 6 clans, 6 families that each control a magic type, and they've been entrusted that control over light and dark. And those 2 families work together to make a perfect cycle of day and night. Then you have, fire and ice, and the storm, which then controls this flow of seasons, and then nature, which works with all of them to produce everything that the animals can, feed on. And so there's a kind of a really cool lore that these 6 families have been entrusted with, kind of running the world from a standpoint of what nature does. Nobody knows that, but they're in control of it. And then obviously they're not allowed to fight. They're not allowed to ever be at odds with each other, because what if night and dark started fighting? Like the day and night cycle would get all screwed up, and it would be bad for the rest of the world. So obviously, as
Interesting.
the story, yeah, as the story goes, yeah. So they obviously start fighting, a little friendly competition, and then it turns into a fight, and then a war breaks out between these 6 families. So the world falls into chaos, and then anyway, you fast forward, the gods send a new race, the 7th clan, and they're actually there to subdue the other 6 clans and bring them back into either unity or by force. And so they do that, and then it kind of turns where they, almost like X-Men in that movie, where they the whole world turned against the X-Men because they were the powerful beings. That's what ends up happening, and they enslave these 6 families and force them to fight. And so the story picks up with you, the avatar. So you're going to go in, and this is where it is different from a card game. So you'll go in and you'll actually create your own avatar. So you'll create your own guy from the ground up. You'll get to pick one of the clans. It's all aesthetic at first. And you'll create your character, and he's going to be recruiting his battle squad. And the storyline will obviously be kind of gladiator style, where you yourself were a slave. You were a fighter from one of the families, but then you won the big tournament of champions. And you asked the main head guy that runs the world, the 7th clan guy, if I would be allowed to battle along these other families that control these other slave clans, and if I win, I want freedom for all the slaves. And so that's where your story begins, right? So you're like the gladiator guy. every opponent you fight is essentially this elite family member who's forcing these people to fight for them. But you have your own group that you're recruiting from these families to build a great squad and try to set all the slaves free. So so you create your guy, and then you'll get a battle squad. So if you come in through the free-to-play version, which will have that, you'll be able to get some common cards, about 30, and you'll start building your deck. And so we're planning on about a 19-card deck. So if you've ever played World of Warcraft, think of it as speccing down a tree. So, if you were a mage, it was a fire mage, an ice mage, or whatever, you spec down a tree. We'll have those similar concepts where there's synergies. Sorry, I think I lost you there for a second. Okay. There's synergies, and you basically build in these, you build your clan based on how you want to specialize. So each clan, the fire clan, the ice clan, will work differently. And then as you level up your avatar, as you win battles, get experience points, you start to get to equip things like a weapon for your avatar, which you run around the open world area, which we'll talk about in a second, with that.
That's what I like.
Open world. Yeah. and so it's a swag thing, just like running around in any open world. If you got a huge glowing green axe on your back, everyone's like, how did you get that? There's random drops, and you'll then learn to start actually crafting weapons and armor, and there'll even be a pet system. And all of those things that you equip, they actually affect your deck. So we've got some really cool new life that we're breathing into the whole deck building aesthetic. So you'll either get free cards to start, which will be the common quality, or if you're part of our avatar squad, which again, we'll talk about at the end, how to get involved now, and you're part of our group that's helping us build the game, we're going to be doing drops of card packs. So now the second part is that every card,
I like it.
Yeah. Every card is like Pokemon, so it'll be in a pack. And what's cool about blockchain is you can literally put an NFT inside of an NFT inside of another NFT. So we can literally recreate a booster box if you want to buy a whole box with 20 packs of cards, let's say, and then inside each pack is 5 cards. The 5th one is the rare one. So you have the whole nostalgia of opening up your booster box, opening up some of your card packs, and inside are rare cards, starting with common all the way up to legendary, 5 levels. And if you get a legendary version of a card, it'll have better base stats for that card. So when you go to build your deck within the deck building mechanic, you now have a slightly better card. That way, when you go to battle, it's all these little inches that you get by making a better deck that could give you the win, which ultimately leads to more experience points and, of course, more in-game currency, and allows you to start crafting better weapons that you can then sell, very much like the Axie economy. So we are modeling our play to earn economy a lot after inspiration from Axie, which is the OG in this space, even though they're only a couple years old.
That's good. That's important to do, to recognize. Instead of saying, "Oh, we're gonna beat Axie, that sucks." A lot of games come with this mentality. No, you take and leave what you want from the game.
Yes.
And you build your own thing. It's a collaboration / competition, but it's a friendly one. That's what it is.
Yeah. What I love about Axie is that as they make money, it's because their players are making money, right? So the players are using the in-game token and the governance token and all that, breeding, then selling, and it's this constant loop, and then it comes back and they can make more money and do it all over again with a renting system. And so we're following that fairly closely, where we're basically we'll have an in-game deflationary token, a governance token. Both will be needed to craft, to do the pet mechanics, all those things. But every time you unlock these new items, you may want to use it for yourself to win more battles, or you may want to throw it up on the in-game auction house and have someone buy it from you who they want it for their style of deck. So let's say it's a rogue style deck where you focus on, let's say, 2 clans, like the fire clan and the ice clan. You're heavy fire and ice, maybe 12 cards from the fire clan, six cards from the ice clan, and 1 card from the nature clan. But you've got a heavy focus on rogues and maybe warriors, and that's your style. You would then try to equip the best crafted rogue weapon and warrior weapon, one in each hand, and maybe you also wear a rogue outfit and then you have a pet that enhances a certain magic type as well. And so all of that plays in. And what's beautiful about it is as you progress, if you get a very random drop, like a legendary, staff, and maybe you've never had an enchanter deck, now all of a sudden you're thinking to yourself, do I sell this blueprint to someone for some money? Or do I, because it's on the blockchain, I can do what I want with it? Or do I start crafting a different style of deck to be able to go to battle? And then you'll be able to, when you load into the game, you'll be able to look across the screen and you'll see your opponent's avatar. And based on what he's wearing and what he has equipped, you might have an idea of the type of strategy he's going to try to come at you with. So we've got a really cool deck building / character creation that's constantly kind of playing off each other. And there's endless replayability. I mean, it'll really never stop, in truth. And
talk to me about the actual game, because at this point people might think, no, this is a card game. No. Card game is part of it, like the card building, the deck building, but then you actually play as an auto battler as well.
Yeah. So what we did is we started realizing, man, like if I'm playing Pokemon face to face, I got to do a turn-based, really slow, long, turn by turn game. But since this is blockchain, and since we can, it's all digital, we can make any type of game on the other side. And what's really cool, which we'll talk about more later, is that these assets, these cards, they really represent your heroes that you're recruiting for your squad. So when we release game number 2 in the same IP, in the same metaverse, these cards will just translate right on in. So if you've spent money or invested or collected certain things within our game, just because maybe this first game you love it, it's this, whatever, but if our next game, let's say it's a MOBA, these characters would already be recruited to your squad and you can load them in, because that's really why we went with cards. We want it to be like you're collecting this hero with this base stats, almost like a fighter, right? Mm-hmm. For your squad. So now when you get into the game, it's an auto battler, or the closest thing would be auto chess. So for the fans, if you guys want to look up Dota Underlords, look up Team Fight Tactics, and even look up Supercell's new auto chess game, because that's actually the most similar to the style. So you're going to have a mana bar. Your cards will get randomly shuffled, but it'll be real characters now. It'll be real characters. And so let's say you have a 19 card deck. You've crafted it as best you can. It shuffles it every round. And then you have 30 seconds from this moment it shuffles to make a choice based on the mana you have. You'll have a couple mana to start, and you can maybe drop a level 2 card, a level 1 card, and maybe another level 1 card. And you're choosing between what cards do you drop based on the 5 that shuffled, because you only see 5 of your 19. Mm-hmm. And you're also now considering where do you drop them, because you have a chessboard with like 3 by 5, so 15 squares. You can't see what your opponent's doing on his side. You can't see what your opponent's doing on the 3 to 5 squares there. Sorry. And so with all that being said, as you're putting this together, you're making quick decisions, 30 seconds, really fast. And and then you're choosing kind of when to push and when to hold, meaning it's best of 5. So you're deciding what 3 rounds do I want to go hard, but you don't know if your opponent is also choosing the same round to go hard. Are you deploying your better card? And obviously we let you save a card for the next round or save a character. So let's say it auto shuffles your deck and your best card pops up, but you don't want to use it on that round. You can tag it and it'll sit there, and then it'll reshuffle 5 new ones. And then you make a choice out of the 6 cards you have.
And how many times can you tag that? Let's say you're like, it reshuffles again. You already had one tagged, when you're like, well, this one is actually better than, or it's more convenient now in this round.
Yeah.
Do I can I retag, eliminate that one, or is it just one chance?
It's really going to allow you to only tag 1 card once per game. So, but it'll sit there. Right. And so, so you're making a choice of when to do it. And then we've got some other really cool stuff, and we can go into more detail, as we get closer, but we've built in something called dual bonuses, where, like, I'll give you, for instance, I don't know if you ever played Battleship, the game, as a kid, where you call out like E63.
Oh, yeah. I know which one it is. I never really, I know what it is. Yeah. I never really played. They even have it online now. Like, they actually
they do. Yeah, super old nostalgic game. So, you kind of put your characters, and you can't see what the other guy's doing. So in that 30 seconds, for instance, when you drop a mage or an enchanter, The mages are pure damage. The enchanters are crowd control. So they slow and they have a damage component. So what happens is when you go to place your mage, you're going to see kind of through the mist into their square. Now you can't see what's happening, but you can see a glowing square that represents that when you move your mage closer to the front of the battlefield, which is more dangerous for a cloth user, your square comes closer to you. And what happens is you're choosing which square on his side of the battlefield is going to light up for double damage the moment the game opens. So as you move him closer, you're choosing, where do I place my mage, hoping that I get a hit. And then the moment the game starts, the mist disappears. If he's got a guy standing on the square opposite you, that thing lights on fire for twice damage, and you maybe almost take a guy out in one hit. And now you've got an advantage in the battle. If you miss, well, then you miss, right? So there's a lot of choices that are being made in those 30 seconds, and it's really fast paced. And when
which
you
is very
choose,
important here. Something that you highlighted to me a lot, because I did tell you, I'm not really into like PvP, that all this type of games. And you told me, it's turn based, right? And you told me no, it's more fast paced than anything. So
it's not turn based at all. It's make a decision and then the AI takes over. And so, like, for instance, if you put two mages down, you'll actually you'll get 3 squares that light on fire. So you get a bonus square. And so you can really so there's strategies on when do you try to time 2 of the same class at the same time in your deck. So there's a lot of depth, even though it's really simple. And then best of 5, and then the winner obviously gets the most experience points. The loser will get some experience points if you have what we're calling rested XP. So again, from the WoW days, if you know WoW, it encouraged you to get on every day and play, because you had a little time where you got XP whether you win or lose, and so that obviously goes away. And then we're gonna have obviously constant loot chests that open up with your experience points, and inside will be skins, will be in-game currency, and double XP bonuses. I mean, all these things.
Tell me about that. About the play to earn. How are you thinking about the play to earn, like in this style? Like how do we play to earn for the people that that are like play to earn, that's all I want. If it's not play to earn, I'm out. How do I go into the game and I play to earn?
Well, we're really just following, if you think of the Axie model. I mean, so when you play, we're obviously going to kind of like find the perfect balance, but there'll be a certain amount of time every day that you can play and earn a reliable amount of tokens. It'll be fairly predictable that, hey, if I play X amount of games, I win X amount of games, I get this much. So obviously the more you win, the more you can make in that given time, right?
Now, what do I do with that token?
So you can do really anything within the ecosystem. You can use it to buy double XP, so you can extend how fast you're leveling. You can use it to buy skins. You can use it to buy the governance token, which is then used in conjunction with the internal token in the crafting system.
Oh, crafting, that's important.
Yes.
That's the
So it basically it's following very closely the Axie model, where you'll use the in-game token to basically create the assets that other players are going to want to buy, or they're assets that you can rent out as well. So you're going to have a whole renting mechanic for your deck of cards and for your avatar weapons that allow you to do exactly, because I've got a buddy who plays Axie, and he's got something like 80 teams just working under him, right? And they're happy. I mean, he's literally putting food on the table, which is so amazing for people in other countries. So we're following that model, I mean, as close to it as we can. As you said, we're obviously taking the best parts of it, and the parts that don't make sense for us we're not using. But it's a beautiful model. I mean, it's a model that basically rewards the players and rewards the fans if they want to win. And you can constantly, so essentially, instead of monsters, we're going to have these crafted weapons, as well as pets that essentially do something very similar in the Axie model, where they affect your entire play style, your entire deck. And so there's a constant loop of get the in-game token, use it to get the governance, as well as to craft, to then be able to sell those assets to other players or use them to rent out to be able to, so there's a constant looping economy basically in play to earn. So, and as we know, it starts off small where, as the player base is small, the token doesn't have as much traction, but, over time, all of a sudden now, it went from whatever, 12 cents for an Axie token to, $46 or $60 or whatever it is today. So yeah, we expect something very similar, and we're going to be rewarding obviously a lot of our governance token holders. We have a ton of stuff. There'll be staking involved. We've got a couple other mechanics that we're just looking through to kind of pick and choose, but we really want it to be where our players, want to play it because the game is awesome and it's fun, and you can play it in 5 minutes and you can make a little money, advance your characters, you own all these valuable assets in the game. But then also, I mean, we would love it if people literally can make a living playing our game. So that is the end goal.
Absolutely. Now, we talked about, a little bit of an open world, of course. You were thinking about it more like a town where people can hang out, show off their stuff, kind of chat a little bit, almost like a social town where you can, I would even add, like you can actually craft there, right? Like you would have to go to the open world thing instead of going to a menu, kind of like the menu is in the town, right?
It is in the town. You got it. Yeah.
So that's really cool. That's really cool. I love showing off. Everybody loves showing off. That's part of being a human being.
For me, we want to create the experience of like being in the center of town, like in World of Warcraft. Again, like I used to love it when I rolled back into town after a raid and I had gotten some big new axe and
people jumping and
and emojis and and so we're going to expand on that. We'll have a lot more details to come on that side of it. We obviously will start small with just the basics, but you're exactly right. You'll be able to craft through the menu, but the idea will be that you would craft in the town as well. So there'll be a crafting station. There'll be a station where you can
marketplace.
Marketplace, put stuff up on the auction house. And, and then also, looking for opponents, looking for battles, the whole guild concept of being in a guild and having some benefits there. We're going to do a lot of really cool things. And really the hub, the town will become our hub to all our games within the metaverse. So eventually that hub, as game number 2 comes out, whatever that is, will literally connect to that. So, and I mean, my dream would be honestly to make an MMORPG one day out of that. So literally
you're making it. That's why I'm here. Here. Look, I never really played MMOs. That's the truth. I am an FPS player. And now in my life, I'm enjoying the fact that I'm going to play MMOs for really the first time. I played RuneScape. I played, I tried them. I never really engaged in them for a long time. Like, it was just a little bit. I always like the shooter thing, but I'm in a different, like, I feel differently now. And I want to play MMOs. I want to get immersed in an MMO, especially now with economies, that you can actually feel like things matter. I think that was one of the biggest reasons without even me knowing. It was like, okay, I'm going to these people are grinding what? For this amount of hours?
Right.
And
no value.
And no value. I mean, there's a social value, but I wasn't conscious about it, but now I look back and I could tell why I didn't feel that connection, because for me, doing this whole adventure for nothing was kind of like, that's kind of pointless. I'd rather play a game that has a loop that is quicker, like Call of Duty. You shoot, you kill, you're rewarded, right? You feel good about
immediate feedback.
Immediate feedback. But now I think that having an economy gives you that almost immediate feedback, because as soon as you click to farm something, that is feedback right there, right?
Well, so, I agree with you 100%. I mean, to me, the ultimate would be, I mean, again, we're starting small now, so we've got a really cool basic game, but the first half of the card collection will literally stay with you and with us for the entire journey as we build out this IP. And our IP is really good. The whole, it's inspired by some Thor Ragnarok style, very fun. We're calling it like old inspiration, new interpretation. So really cool feel, tribal, Nordic, fantasy clans, some really cool stuff. But we, the opportunities or the possibilities are kind of endless with this concept, because once you've built this metaverse, and you've got players who've invested in these cards that represent characters, again, we could move that into a MOBA, we could move that into an MMORPG, we can move that really into any style of game that matches. And what I
Even
foresee
I'm
is that,
sorry, even an adventure, something like
yes,
Zelda.
sure, right,
Like
yeah,
a just storyline, just a storyline.
correct,
Like it's just an adventure, single player. You could do so many things. Even you could even go like 2D platformer with it, right? Like
yes,
little
yeah.
2D platformer. Like you could do so many things and just connect that card into so many games and be part of this whole ecosystem. That's what I really
Well,
want to see. Hell yeah,
yeah,
man.
I love it. And so Supercell, imagine your characters from Clash of Clans working in Clash Royale and working in Brawl Stars. A
Hmm.
lot of them are the same
Brawl
IP anyway.
Stars.
So
Yeah.
yeah. And so yeah, I actually like Brawl Stars, but the thing with Brawl Stars, I actually played that for a few months, and I started on the free to play, and then obviously one day I was playing and I spent $5, then 10, then 100, and then I spent 500, 600 bucks in the game. But when I left the game and I stopped playing, I didn't own any of that. And that's the beauty of this, that as gamers mature with us, we intend to be doing this for the long haul. I mean, that's really where we're at. And we're building a team that has a vision for 10, 15 years of building something amazing.
You did
And
tell me that. Like this is your
yeah,
next 15 to 20 years of your life.
yeah.
Like this is your new era in terms of business, and I love that, man. Like you're just
Yeah,
this is me now, you know.
I love it. And I think, the reality is I see such an amazing movement like you do, where there's a tidal wave of I believe gaming studios that when they realize that they are robbing their players, they're missing the boat on making a blockchain compatible game, that they're going to want to come into this. And I think that just like we went from pay to play, or you pay once, to the microeconomics and all those things, into now free to play to earn will be the next big thing in gaming. And players are just going to demand it. And it may take 2, 3, 4 years, but there'll be a tipping point where you won't find a game, I believe, that doesn't involve player-owned assets and maybe even a play-to-earn economy. The play-to-earn economy is harder to really nail down, but we want to make kind of that perfectly well-rounded thing, and our token and our game will continue to move through our other platforms. And people who were with us early, who got in on the cards early, will have really valuable cards that they may even want to pass down to their kids, because the truth is that game, if we keep innovating and the game world keeps growing like we intend to, there'll be games in 10 years that you can play using the exact same cards you got day one when you were there with us
That's
at the
gonna be
beginning.
so
And so,
insane. That's almost like
yes,
having
crazy.
a Charizard from Pokemon. Imagine you could
Yes,
actually use that today. What are you
yes,
gonna use it for? For the same thing, either collect or play.
right.
Nobody's gonna play with it because nobody
Yeah,
wants to
yeah.
touch it. Um, but yeah, man, it's just this is something completely new. It's just completely
Well,
new.
and
We
and it's
haven't
the
seen
reason,
it.
and to me it's inevitable, Kegi. To me it's inevitable because it's good and it benefits the consumer, right? The
Hmm.
player wins in the end if we do this as a game studio. So yeah, I love it. And so yeah, and then I guess I'll just jump now into kind of what we're building with Video Game Dev Squad and how guys can get involved. So from day one, like I said, Koin Games' mission has always been to build games with our players, owned by our players. And we want to do something no studio has ever done before. So those two things are, number one, build it with the players. So that's why we're launching this Avatar project, where we always wanted to form a core group of people that will help us build this video game. And whether that's just giving their input, whether that's beta testing, whether you're a writer and you want to write backstories, whether you want to help with character design, even just sourcing input on character inspiration. I mean, we're about to go into a time where we're going to create, you can see on our website, coingames.io, like the first 5 characters there. We've got a few more we've already created, but we're about to create about 50 characters in the next few months, like really soon, before our first hero card official drop, the packs of cards. And so we're going to be going to our Video Game Dev Squad for inspiration. I already have had guys, before we even started it, send me pictures of their favorite fantasy characters and saying, man, could this fit into your world? And I'm like, yeah, let me send it to my designer. So we're going to be working with our players to work through everything from design. And we're calling it like devs, designers, and players all working together to build an epic game. And my personal feeling is that the game will be better. And as well as the fans will love it more. I mean, if I got to design a character in World of Warcraft, I would have loved that game even more, because I'm like, man, I got to help design that guy right there. And so our feeling is that if we open up our studio and let people see the behind the scenes part of it, they're going to love it even more. So that's number one. And then the owning part, the one unfortunate thing I've seen in crypto is that the fans obviously get the benefit of a play to earn economy and all that, but there's very few studios that are really allowing the fans to come along the economic journey as well, where they get to invest early. It's pretty normal in crypto that you have a seed round, which is friends and family in the team, and then you have what we call a private round, which is where your VCs come in and they invest, and then it goes to an IDO or a public round, and that's where the fans can buy. And if they're early, they buy early and they make a lot of money, and that's great. But we really want to include the fans, the loyal fans, the people with us that helped us build the game in that early stage, right? And consider them strategic investors. So what we're doing is instead of just raising, yes, they are. Yeah, they are. So we have strategic investors. I mean, we've got we've already had people offering us honestly more money than we likely need to build the game. But obviously it's a hot genre right now, and we have a great team and all that. But the truth is that we want to carve out a portion of that for the fans, and so that's why we launched this avatar project where everyone who buys one of our avatars, which launched on September 7th. So if you're still tuned in, get on our website real quick, get in the Discord and get the info if it's before the 7th. If it's after the 7th, jump on OpenSea and you can buy it. When you buy one, the first thing that'll happen is you get invited into a private Discord that we basically launched on the morning of the 8th. And that's going to be with our devs, with our designers, all in the Discord, and just the holders. And they're going to be able to start to vote, give input, get private AMAs, talk through game mechanics, and just be as involved as they want to be in the creation process, or just watch as they do it. Mm-hmm. But beyond that, they're getting three other things. So they're getting one, like I said, we're actually going to do private round allocation of up to $1,000 per avatar. So if someone buys three, they would be allowed to put in up to $3,000 into the private round, right next to us as a team and our strategic investors, which has never been done before to my knowledge.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Yeah. And I'm gonna add to your point here. I don't want to cut you off, but I want to add to your point. I've been in many games, many games, and a lot of the time it's a struggle. It's a struggle. You do videos for them. You do it out of like passion, right? But then when you realize, the time comes, they sell, and you're left out as a content creator with nothing. Literally, you put everybody at the same stage as you, which I'm okay. I do that all the time. Like, we're all gonna go in together and try to buy it. But there are projects where I feel like I 100% deserved to at least have. Don't even give it to me for free. Let me buy it at least before. Yeah. At least I'll give you the money. I'll give you the money. But to leave me out, that's a lose-lose. Because now I don't have your asset, therefore I'm not gonna do another video. So if you wouldn't let me get in first as a content creator, in this case, then as soon as I buy the asset, as soon as you launch the thing, I will do a video the next day, talking about my new thing. So you won all the way. So even there, bro, it's crazy. It's crazy. So this is something that I barely see, man. Like a lot of the times it's a struggle with them, and it is what it is.
We want our fans to be the ones that win alongside us, and obviously we obviously want our strategic investors too. Like they're important to us, and we're really handpicking. I've actually just in the last week had 2 VC groups reach out to see, and we've already got one that we are going to work with that we love and trust. And so, but there's already VC groups saying, hey, can we handle your raise? We can go get you a few $1 million. But it's been great to be able to say, listen, we have less available for strategic investors. However, look at the fan base already. Look at these fans who are putting in their own money with us, and look at the backing we have from the community. And so, so no one will have to. You can own an avatar and never put in $1 if you want to, but each avatar gets you a right of up to $1,000 to put in. So we think we'll have a lot of people holding. The second thing you get with it is that each and every avatar comes with the very first OG, we're calling it the OG Founders Hero card. So we're going to obviously, like I said, we're going to produce a bunch of hero cards. There'll be 60 characters at launch. and there'll be 5 per pack of cards, and the packs of cards are going to be really inexpensive. They'll be priced like not like normal stuff in NFTs,
Hey.
and we get but only avatar holders will have access to the white list for the first edition launch. And again, each avatar will come with the founder's OG card, which is our same monkey character. So our main character, the kind of one at the front of our website, is our monkey character, and he's the one that we used for inspiration for the avatar project. So when you buy an avatar and you get a randomly generated avatar, the avatar itself is going to have a property like on OpenSea where it says OG Founders NFT Rarity, and then it's going to have a word, and it's going to either say common, uncommon, rare, epic, or legendary. Whatever it says, when it comes time to mint that first hero card that you can actually use in the game, that'll say like OG Founders card, it's the first of its kind, you'll get to mint the rarity that's connected to your avatar. So there'll be about 10 very lucky individuals that will buy an avatar from us, and it'll literally come with a legendary version. There'll be 10 only ever. Legendary version, first edition OG version of that card. So every single avatar holder gets allocation into the private round. They get per avatar $1,000 allocation. Per avatar, they get 1 OG Flex card. So if Founders card. So if you buy 5 avatars, you get 5 OG cards, and there'll be 55 of them, 5,555. And then finally, you get your name on the whitelist to buy as packs of cards as well. So we're really trying to we're trying to show that if you join our community, if you're part of this video game dev squad family and you like the idea of building a video game with us, and you like the idea of being along this journey, we are going to reward you and reward you and reward you and reward you and make it so that you never want to leave. I mean, I think there'll be people that 10 years from today, they're still holding on to at least their last avatar. And it's like, I'm not letting that go, because look at how much I've received by being early and by supporting this company early on. And then obviously if people miss it and they're not able to buy an avatar, because let's say there's none for sale, which I don't ever see that happening, but let's say there are none for sale, because we're only creating 5,555 total avatars that get you access to all that. You can still participate in the public launch of the token early, and the public launch of the cards, which will be after the first editions are sold out. So so that's kind of everything in a nutshell. And we've got more. I'm working with a company that has some contracts with like Netflix and Among Us on creating a physical toy.
Hey.
And because I, as you can see in the background, I like some little toys here on my shelf right here and right here. And so I want my own little, little guy here on my desk while I'm playing my game. So that'll be free. And man, I'm gonna surprise the avatar, the VGS family all the time with swag. We want to do real world meetups. We want to do, hoodies and T-shirts and all kinds of really cool stuff. So we're gonna make it so once people get in there, they're gonna say, "Man, this is the coolest experience I've had in crypto. I got to build this game. I got to be a part of this community. I got to invest in early, and that worked out really well. I got to get access to the first edition collector's cards, the OG hero card, and I got to make money in this game. And this was the coolest thing I've ever done in crypto. And we just want to take people with us. And so, yeah, it's gonna be fun. So
I like it, man. I like it a lot. You're inspiring, man, because I think you're bringing everything together in a way that it just makes sense for the community. Everything that the community ever wanted, right? Of course, there's going to be always people that are going to complain that they couldn't get in and stuff like that. That's always going to happen. But I think for the most part, the intentions are good here. And I can see it right away. You've seen games like Illuvium that are building with the community. They have a council. They have a council members and stuff, and you can vote. You could actually propose to be part of the council members as well. If the people vote for you, cool, with the governance token, that's good. Those are good initiatives. So this is very similar in that sense.
Yes.
But then the investment part, actually giving people the ability to invest at the same level as seed investors. That is amazing. That is amazing
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I've been struck by other games where I'm like, bro, really, you didn't give your core people the ability to get in.
Yeah.
People that were core from the beginning, and then some crazy investor came in out of nowhere that
Yeah.
has never provided anything to grow the game other
Correct.
than connections, which I understand as well. I understand
Sure.
business,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Other than connections, you didn't give those people that supported you day in, day out a little bit, just not even a little bit. You couldn't
Right.
put
Yeah. Yeah.
50K or 100K to at least 50 people that were there day in, day out doing content, writing in the Discord. It's just, it doesn't make any sense to me. And
I agree.
this makes sense. This makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, and what really gave me the idea was about 2 months ago, I had the opportunity to invest in a game I won't mention, and because I'm a part of a VC group, and we got to invest, at a penny, and within 2 days of the launch, it was at far more than that, and almost 100x, and but we got to invest as a VC group, the fans did not, and that didn't really make any sense to me, and so. I think our VCs will love it too, to be honest, because they'll be investing alongside a fan base, and they'll see the passion, and we'll see people who are not going to just dump the token. Like, it's actual players that want to use it, because the token will have in-game use, it'll have voting rights, it'll have all these things that come with it as well, and so we'll have, I think, a strong base of supporters that will be with us for the long haul, and they'll feel invested because they help build the game as well. So yeah, I mean, what I would say to any of your listeners is you're still super early. Even if you missed the mince day and you're watching this in a month or so, jump on OpenSea, grab an avatar. I'm sure there'll be people buying that are selling the extra ones that they bought. A lot of people in our group right now are saying, I'm buying 5, I'm buying 10. I want to hold these. I got a guy who messaged me, said I'm buying a couple for my kids to give it to them when they're 18. I don't know how true that is, but anyway, but I think we're doing something really special. And I do think a lot of game companies will follow with what we're doing, and that's good for gaming. I mean, I'll finish with this, but I read a stat that $108 billion with a B was spent in in-game assets by players in 2020 on gaming, and the players own $0 of that $108 billion. And so to echo your model, no NFT, no play. Like, we need to, as a gaming community, we need to get to a place where we say, I'm not going to play your game if you don't allow me to own anything within the game. And I think when the players start moving to blockchain games, and our goal is to make a really good blockchain game, one that you love playing and you get all these benefits. And I think if we do that, we will change gaming as a whole. And we'll look in 10 years, 10 years, and you won't find every studio is going to be doing it, and it'll be good for the gamer. And obviously we're early, so it'll be fun for us too, So, but yeah, this is great. Yeah,
I love it. Just to add a last point here, I've been saying for about a year and a half, I've been tagging the people that make the game awards. I've been tagging them and telling them we don't want a category. I don't want a play to earn category. I don't want that. I mean, that's gonna happen. It's gonna be a little category, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want a category. This is the only category, NFT gaming, period. It's not like, NFT gaming category won this. No. This is the whole thing. Every single game from start to finish is an NFT game. No matter what, if it's single player, doesn't matter what it is, it's going to be an NFT gaming standard, right? Just like the Bitcoin standard book, this is the NFT gaming standard, baby. That's how I see it. And let me ask you, where can people find you? Twitter, Discord, the website, and where else? Anywhere else?
So start off with coingames.io. That'll lead you to our Discord. On Twitter, we're CoinGamesIO as well, at CoinGamesIO. And then I'm Timothy Yest on Twitter. I could use a couple more followers myself, and so jump on there, say what's up. We're doing giveaways. Sure, yeah, we're doing giveaways. We're doing all kinds of stuff. Right now in our community, actually, we're doing giveaways every few days for a custom avatar experience with one of our designers. So what that is after we launch the 5500, we're going to allow a few people to actually work with our designer to put together their own avatar, and we'll mint it on the blockchain for them. and they'll get to pick the hair from all the hairs that we made, the beard, the fur. They'll get to literally customize it, and then the shirt will be a video game dev squad shirt that is a sticker that says "Hi, my name is," and we'll write their name on it. So they'll literally have a fully customized avatar, and it's on the blockchain. They can sell it if they want to, or just hold it, and it'll come with all the rights of the other avatars. So anyway, really cool. So yeah, jump in the Discord. You can get the Discord link, and then our YouTube channel has some good videos. I think you just threw up a little segment of my video there, but we've got some good videos. We have a really good welcome to Koin Games video. I would start with that. That's pinned on our YouTube channel, and then just stay tuned for more stuff. So yeah, coingames.io on Twitter, coingames.io or coingames.io on Twitter. Coingames.io is the website. The YouTube channel is CoinGames.io as well. And then Timothy Jooste, Jooste on Twitter. And yeah, our team is fully transparent. We're fully, they call it, we're a doxed team using our real identities or whatever. So you can say what's up. I'm really active in the Discord, as active as I can be with everything going on in my world. And yeah, and we're looking forward to like literally getting to know. And I'll say this, like I believe when this is all said and done, we will have literally built a video game with a few thousand people. And I bet you most of our new employees, as we're hiring and building, because we intend to, at some point be 100+ person company, will have come from this video game dev squad. And I think that's a beautiful thing. We're going to grow together, do something really cool. So we're not for everybody, but these avatar projects and we can talk on another episode about NFTs and how much fun they are and making money, losing money. I mean, all that stuff, But the NFT avatar projects that are winning right now and will win in the future are the ones who are built around a community with an identity and a mission. And I think, if you look at VFriends, World of Women, Bored Ape Yacht Club, Punks, even Gutter Cat, all of them have their own feel and identity and their own mission. And so we're kind of carving out our niche, that we're saying, hey, if you're a gamer, if you're a blockchain gamer, come to us. We'll welcome you with open arms. And we're going to let you build a video game with us. We want you, not even let you, we want you to help us build a video game with us and then own the game. And that's really what we're saying. And I think there's gonna be people, probably many of your fans, that say, man, this is what I've been waiting for. I'm in for life. Like, let's go. And we'll do this thing for many years to come. So yeah, thank you for having me on. This has been amazing.
Yeah, man. I'm very, very excited. Very, very inspiring, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you like, make sure you comment without any scams, and make sure you subscribe to this channel with all notifications on, and check out all the links for this game in the description, and make sure you comment if you have any, thoughts on this game. So I'll see you guys next video. Peace.